Today I'm talking about two different movies that are telling the same story but from two different perspectives. I'm talking about Baz Luhrmann's Elvis movie and Sofia Coppola's Priscilla movie. I've seen both of those. It's been a long time since I've seen them, so I'm not remembering everything correctly. This is just kind of my initial takes of how I remember them, what I thought about them when I saw them at the times, and then my kind of, it's been a few years, my kind of long-lasting reaction to how both of those films were in my memory. So, and hey, if you stick around, you'll see which one I prefer. So stay along in the video. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. I remember this was a big deal movie. Baz Luhrmann, he's famous for, big, bright colors, loud music, a lot of scenes with a lot of moving parts, a lot of big characters. It made sense for him to make a movie about someone like Elvis, who is the most famous man alive. This, big kind of mythos around his being, his character, his story. I think what's tough about movies like this is when they try to cram an entire life of a person into this one is a 3-hour film. It's a bit longer than normally they do, but I think that you can't really show the entirety of a person in a 3-hour film. You're going to leave out some stuff. You're going to skip over some stuff. You're going to cram some stuff in. I think right off the bat, now they have this Michael Jackson one they put it out. They have the Queen one, the Elton John Rocket Man movie. All these movies, I'm not a big fan of these singer biopics because they just kind of condense a lot of someone's life, the complexities. And this one in particular, Elvis is the protagonist of the film. He's the title character. You have to display Elvis in a certain way. Elvis obviously being the protagonist, the antagonist being Tom Hanks's Colonel character. All the kind of drama and the negativity, a lot of Elvis's problems with infidelity, addiction, kind of how the fame is resonating and treating him. A lot of the issues all kind of stem from this Colonel character, really causing a lot of the problems in Elvis's life. I wanted to see this movie in the theater because I like Baz Luhrmann. I like a lot of his films. I like I was never like the biggest fan of Elvis, but I was like, this is a notable person. I'd like to, you kind of just through pop culture already know so much about them, but I was like, I want to see it kind of serialized through the lens of a film. And I like a lot of the music. There's a lot of notable moments that I think we all kind of know from his life, and it would be cool to kind of see those in scenes in a film. And the casting, it was like a big deal of the casting. Austin Butler, changed his voice to do the film. It had the makings for like a big, successful Hollywood biopic film. The right director, the right cast, all of that. Tom Hanks, everybody loves all these. And to me, it just didn't. I'm sure a lot of true Elvis fans out there love this one. I didn't love it. It wasn't that. It felt too stylized. It felt kind of montagey at times, kind of cutting between scenes, fast cuts, skipping over stuff. There was literally scenes that were like, let's just kind of have a bunch of different shots. I think when I'm watching a movie like Elvis, it reminds me so much of Dewey Cox. Yeah, I'm like, did no one on the set? I know it's the formula for like a lot of the biopic, and the Elvis story is very similar to like a lot of the standard biopic films. But did no one think like this is just a scene exactly from the Dewey Cox film, the Walk Hard film? I think they really perfected it with that, and they perfected making fun of these films that become that I would, if I was working on the film, I'd be like, what are we doing here? This is just Dewey Cox. We find some way to differentiate it. Which brings me to the Sofia Coppola Priscilla movie. I like Sofia Coppola movies. I know I'm not her target demo, Like I'm not. I know a lot of people have criticisms of her film. They're white woman problem films. I kind of like a lot of them. I know I'm not her target demographic or whatever, but I like it. And I like this Priscilla movie. The spoiler alert, this was the one that I liked. Because it felt more intimate, not so big, showy, and it was kind of an interesting take on the story. Obviously, it's this one, Elvis is not the protagonist. Actually, he's more of the antagonist of the film. So Priscilla is a young girl, middle school, whatever, young, early teens, who is removed from her ordinary life into becoming the girlfriend and eventual wife of the most famous person on earth, and kind of seeing it through her lens and her perspective. And the Elvis movie, I think it never really focused too much on. She was kind of the side character and the love interest, and she was fully supportive, like a supportive wife of him the whole time. They never really got into the controversies around their relationship or the hardships. She was very much just like a cheerleader to him in that film. Whereas this one, they kind of pose Elvis as the antagonistic character. Very limited settings and scenes of the film, mostly taking place in the house, her alone in the house, kind of coming to terms with her new life, being alone. Is she too young for this? Is she? And I know, people who are Elvis scholars, Elvis historians, I don't know, are going to look at this and say this isn't accurate, or it's not portrayed properly. These are misinterpretations, or on the other side is that this is extremely accurate, and this is how it was for her in her life, and he was a bad person or whatever. And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. This is just, I'm purely going based off my reactions to the movie. And in terms of storytelling, I think this was a much more compelling story. I like the biopics that are just condensed to maybe a few scenes from someone's life as opposed to the entirety of someone's life. Because with that, it's like you can't really dive you need to, it's like a superhero almost, where you only really show the good parts of their life. You never show like the negative side of it, which I think making the Elvis character the supporting character of the Priscilla movie is I think was a better way to get a look into how people around him viewed him, as opposed to the Elvis movie, where he's the central character. He's almost like a god. Everybody loves him and worships him. And so it was much more intimate. I don't know how the reviews for the film were. I'm sure it was mixed. Like I said earlier, I'm sure the Elvis fans had their own opinions on it. The Priscilla, whatever, supporters, feminists, whatever, had their take on it. It's purely in terms of storytelling and character and world building. I think this is purely what I'm looking at. I think Priscilla was far superior of a film. Like I said, it's two people, same characters, essentially the same story, but being told different ways through different lenses. And it's very interesting to kind of piece together, because you could probably fit the Priscilla movie somewhere. Chop up the scenes. That'd be kind of cool if someone did that. They chopped up like scenes of the Priscilla movie and kind of put it around the Elvis movie. And the casting, I don't think like Jacob Elordi, was that him? Was it Jacob Elordi in that movie? I think it was him. I don't remember. I mean, he wasn't like a great, incredible Elvis casting. It did kind of feel like Saturday Night Live-y, kind of like sketch acting, but he wasn't the central character, so it kind of doesn't matter how he was portrayed. I wasn't thinking about it at all like what a quality Elvis he was. It was more so of how he's viewed through the eyes of the character. So that was my opinion on the Priscilla and Elvis movies. I would love to know which one you think is better. If you thought one was better, you could love both of them. You could hate both of them. You could like certain moments from each of them. You could like the first half of one of them and the second half of the other. Or you could, just not leave a comment too. You could do that. But hey, thanks for watching this. I appreciate it. Check out some of the other videos, and I will see you next time. Big peace.